Okay, so let's take everything I've learned from helping more than 9,000 paying clients and share with you this blueprint to make $1 million in 2026 just from your email marketing, right? This is for expert type businesses. That's course creators, coaches, membership site owners, service providers, where you're selling and helping people with your expertise. And this is how you can literally open your laptop from anywhere in the world and make 7 figures using what's working right now.
The Email Marketing Show.
Hey, I'm Kennedy, and regular viewers will realize that I've got a brand new purple helmet for my microphone. On brand. Here we go. So let's get into this blueprint. So what a lot of people have is they have a bunch of offers. Okay, and I'm sure you're the same. You've got a bunch of different courses, programs, things you've developed over time. And what it's like is like they're all over the place. You keep offering different things in different orders. What I want you to do, as represented by this beautiful illustration of the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum, is I want you to pick what I call a Rome offer. A Rome offer. I'm going to write that on here. There it is. Okay. A Rome offer. That's your all roads lead to Rome, your flagship offer, the main thing you want to be known for. I want you to think of this. I want you to think of your business like going shopping in IKEA, right? What most people do is not IKEA. Most people have an offer here and an offer there. They talk about this offer for a short amount of time. They talk about this other offer and they keep changing. And your audience starts to get to a place where they're like, I'm not really sure what you sell. I'm not sure the difference between that offer and that offer is a thing we often hear about people's offers. Instead, when you use this Rome principle, your business becomes like IKEA. When you walk through IKEA, you are up and down and you have to walk past the bar stools. You have to walk past the bedding. You have to walk past the bookcases. Nobody is missing out on any of the offers. Right? Everybody has to walk past them. And that's what your Rome offer is. It's the thing that everybody has to walk past. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to build your offer. And you're going to imagine that in the center of the Colosseum is a person who has had the successful outcome that your Rome offer, your main thing, provides and what it does for people. What most people do is they build one offer like this, and then they sell it for a bit, and then after a while, they move on and they start building another Colosseum. They build another Rome offer. They start building new foundations. They start laying it out. They start putting all of the stuff in. And it takes ages. And they feel like they're always busy because they're busy doing the most time-consuming thing in the world, which is building offers. What we do instead is you'll notice around the Colosseum, there are lots of doors. So what we're going to do with these doors is find different ways of getting people into the Colosseum, into your Rome offer. So you might run some meta ads to your Rome offer. Then you might start, I don't know, some kind of group on school or on Facebook or wherever. Lots of different places. Goodness is, and to get people into it. You might do a challenge. You might run a webinar for that Rome offer, okay? So in my example, we have a Rome offer. I'm going to put some numbers on all of this so you can see how it all comes together. So my Rome offer is a 997 program called the Automated Email Engine, okay? That's what our main thing here is at Email Marketing Heroes. So that's what it might be. It might be your $2,000 program. It might be your $5,000 program. It might be your $10,000 program. That's the first thing we do. The next thing every business needs to have then, in order to make this work, my iPad's gone all weird. What's going on? There we are, fixed it. Is we need to have people who are in the Rome offer need to be offered a recurring offer. It's an email I got from Brendan Machado years ago saying on the back of every offer, there should be a recurring offer. And that's something like a membership. It could be maybe for some ongoing support. It could be some fresh frameworks, or if you're like in social media or whatever, it might be templates, sales scripts, that kind of thing. Or it could be software. They're really good solid, proven things that are working right now to as recurring offers. And some really good recurring offers actually have either all or multiples of these in. So in our example, we have our membership called the Email Hero Academy, and it's $97 a month, and it basically has all of those things in. People are able to get ongoing support, which is what they're going to pay for monthly. They're going to get fresh new stuff every single month, frameworks, templates, whatever you sell, every single month. They should be paying monthly for it. So it makes sense that they're paying monthly for it. The beautiful thing about having something where they pay monthly is you are never starting another month on zero again. Looking at the bank account thinking, will we be able to make the sales? I've got that big sort of thing in the back of my head thinking, I need to make some sales to make payroll or to pay myself to pay the bills. We don't have that when we've got recurring offer built in. The other thing that's really important though is we had it for a short amount of time. We made this mistake. I don't want you to make the same mistake where we only offered the membership, the recurring thing, to people who joined the Roam offer. That's a mistake because you're actually putting a throttle, in my case, $1,000 throttle, but most people have 2, 5, 10, 20 grand programs, and that'll be a 20 grand throttle in the way of letting people join the membership. It's like a big wall for people to try and climb over. So what we're going to do also is we're going to have along the path in IKEA, right? We're walking up and down. We're going to have some opportunities for people to get straight in to the recurring offer, okay? Even if they don't buy the Roam offer, all right? It could be like the downsell from the Roam offer or something like that. So there's going to be a percentage there. We're going to come back to that when we put some numbers on this. Then, after that, this is when it gets really important, right? So what we're going to be doing is sending lots of different emails about our group program or our challenge, our webinar. We're going to send those emails from wherever we happen to be in the world as different ways of telling people about the Roam offer. Hey, there's a trial, there's a way of getting in, there's a way of checking it out, whatever. Come and join me on a live webinar, come and do this challenge, all to check it out. We're going to be emailing people. Then we're going to email some of those people. We're going to email the people who buy and say, hey, come and join my membership, my ongoing, recurring kind of thing, my software, whatever it's going to be. So we're going to email about that, which you can send from anywhere in the world. Then, and this is when people usually have stopped and where the big swathes are already made here, and that is we're going to have an upsell. I'm amazed at how many people have a membership, and when someone's just agreed to pay them every single month because they care about the topic and they really want you to teach them that topic, they care about it so much they're willing to commit to paying you every single month or every quarter, every year. That's a big commitment. That's a big sign of how much someone's interested. So we should be offering an upsell at that point, okay? And that's usually going to be just a one-time purchase. And what I don't mean by that, and this is where people get this wrong, is I do not mean offer them an annual upgrade. Yes, you can do that as well. So if it was $97 a month, you might say, hey, join for a year. You get 2 months free and you get it for $9.97 for the year. You might do that stuff. That's normal. What I'm talking about here is another one-time purchase. Let's say it's $297 because that's the price that my upsell is when someone joins the membership, to help them with something else that's really complimentary. Okay? What's amazing is 60% of people take that. So for every 100 people who are having the membership, 60 of them have also added on an extra $297. You see how this money stack on one on top of the other. But we're not done yet. And then I'm going to actually show you the financial breakdown of how this turns into an easy $1 million business a year, right? So we're now going to be, once someone joins the membership, we're going to email them afterwards saying, hey, as a new member, get this upsell, get this discount on this upsell, get this upsell that's not available anywhere else, or whatever. Then we're going to have one final thing, and I call this the King of the Jungle offer. It's the King of the Jungle recurring offer. So this is like a recurring offer that is much more premium. It's a premium offer. So it's something like a premium membership, or it might be a mastermind, or it might be an inner circle. This is the kind of thing which you're going to charge out at around $500 a month. So now when you stack these things together and you email the people who haven't bought anything from you yet about your Roam offer and your recurring offer, And then the people who buy your recurring, you're going to email to tell, usually automated, completely automated. You're going to email them because you don't need to do anything, but they'll be emailed to get your upsell. And the people who buy these will be told about your King of the Jungle offer, also automated. So your job becomes to email about the Roam offer and the recurring offer, and everything else becomes automated, which is why you can do this in such a little amount of time. So let's take a look at the numbers on this. So let's say that we get, I've got the numbers on this screen over here to make sure I don't get the maths wrong, because that's very easy for me to do. We get 300 people. Let's say this is the Roam offer. 300 people times, in our case, 997, right? Let's just say you had a pretty low ticket Roam offer. It's not a very expensive one. That's going to give us a total of 299,100, okay, by emailing to that offer. The next step of the journey is going to be our membership, okay, the membership. And in the membership, what we're going to do, because we've got some people being sold in from the Roam offer, let's say that 60% of those people, 60% of people who buy the Roam offer also upgrade in the recurring. And we've also got some people coming directly into the recurring. People are like, oh, you need 2,000 members in your membership. You really don't. Let's say we've got a $97 a month membership. They pay for 12 months, right? And we have only 500 people in. That is it. That's going to give us, get the numbers off this screen here, $582,000 a year. Great. So we're doing pretty well, right? We're at 6, 7, 8, we're about 900,000 already, almost, okay? But we're not done, because then from there, we're going to have 60% of the people who join the membership take the 297, okay? 60% of them. That's 300. That's 300 times of 297, and that's going to give us, how much is that? An extra 89,100. You might think, why would I bother doing that? I'll tell you why you might bother doing that. Because that is 90 grand, basically, of cash from an automation for something you didn't have to do. And when someone buys from you again, they deepen their relationship with you in a psychological way. So psychologically speaking, that is a relationship deepening that you just got paid 90 grand for doing it. Why would you not do that? If I was to give you an extra 90 grand right now, would you be upset? No, right? So again, that's what we're doing. And then we've got the King of the Jungle offer, this premium membership. Now, you can do that in whatever way you want. I mean, for me, mine's called Director's Room, and actually it has a cap in order to actually maintain people. Now, the official cap is 30 places, but I'm going to just be a little bit mean and say it's only 25 spaces are available. And so that's going to give me an extra, so it's 25 people times, it's 500 a month. So that's going to give me an extra 150,000. So, and again, that's automated emails. The only emails we're sending are to the Roam offer and to the recurring offer, right? So let's take a look at that actual grand total. If I just scroll down on my little screen here, that takes us well over the $1 million mark. And we needed to sell 300 of them and 500 of them. Everything else gets dialed in and done on its own. And you can send these emails literally from anywhere, right? And if you're thinking, wow, right, this is awesome. Well, good news. I release videos like this every single week. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button on this player right now on this page so that you see the new videos when I release this new content every single week. And also, when you hit subscribe, it lets you know that you're enjoying this content, and I'll keep making more and more of it. But as you can see, this is an extremely practical way of making $1 million from this email system that literally anybody could use. And of course, you're going to plug in your numbers. Your Roam offer is likely higher priced than mine, right? So that's going to really swing the numbers in another way. Stick the numbers into ChatGPT. That's exactly what I did on this other screen to help it make sure I have my numbers right and have it run the different models for you. Of course, this all does rely on the fact that you do need to keep growing your email list. You need to keep building that email list. So let me show you what has replaced lead magnets for coaches and experts to grow your email list in this next video. I'll see you in that one.